In the world of Hollywood, movies get greenlit and redlit. They get remade and rebooted. But we are the ideal. I'm Sam Gasch, and you are listening to Ideal Remake. Thank you for listening to Ideal Remake. We take movies that either have been, will be, or should be remade and talk about what the ideal version of that remake would be. Today, we're talking about The Babe. What Babe? The Babe with the powers. What powers? The powers of voodoo. I don't remember the rest of that phrase. But we're talking about this movie with small characters, someone who's larger than life. It's JC Currais.
Hey, what's going on?
JC, is Willow a movie that has been, will be, or should be remade?
I think it's going to be remade, or at least a sequel to it, right? Is that what's happening, a sequel series? I think they could remake the film. It's been out for a long time. I would like to see, again, like it's got those really fun, practical effects in it, and some of the really fun the camera stuff where they're shooting the very little characters. I forget the pixie characters, right, essentially, where they're doing it all green screen. I think some of those things could get updated, and also there's moments in it where I wish that because it's a kids film, but they go really hard into the kids, and I think because kids are a little bit more adult than they were when they were, when we were kids. We were really kids.
They're not pushing a hoop with a stick anymore?
Not anymore. Now these kids got the internet and they've seen all the stuff.
Oh no, that's where we keep the bad stuff.
They keep the bad and the good, and they see it all. I just think you can make a little bit more contemporary version, or maybe even a little darker. A touch darker.
You know what? I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because watching this movie, I remember thinking, hey, there's some campy things. They literally put, fur costumes on dogs and then just had them run. And it's great, and I love it.
Exactly.
But then, they also did some things that you aren't expecting. The main, one of the main enforcer villains is a young woman. When they go and rescue the sorceress and turn her back into a human, she's an old woman. Mm-hmm. And it's
actually an old woman. And again, I feel and I was also happy that woman's also the voice, too.
Oh, yeah?
So it's not, they didn't change, because it's throughout the film, she's multiple animals.
Right.
And she has this very whimsical, I'm a sorceress voice. But then when she becomes human form again, it's the same woman.
Her.
Same actress. Yeah, so I like that a lot.
And then the lead character is literally a married man with kids who has to leave his family to go off on an adventure.
And boy, oh boy, does he leave that family and kids, and he is not trying to get back that hard.
No, well, I mean, that's contemporary.
I will say 100% that he's got a really good connection to the baby character throughout the film, but the setup to that connection is zero.
Yeah.
He literally, when he meets the baby, he tells his children not to touch it. He wants to shove it down the river.
Yeah.
That's his original intention. I think that's where I would start with the change. I think I would make him, because he's like the village idiot almost, or the village screw up. And everybody mocks him. I'd go darker on that. I'd make him have the family lost.
Oh,
I wouldn't have the family.
Or he had the family and then they
they're
left
gone.
him.
They left him, or they died. Something happened.
And he needs something. He
needs something. Yeah, I want him to be almost more of a hermit character, as opposed to such a jovial, jolly character. Because I don't think that will. He doesn't have to have I'm only dark, but he just adding that element of darkness to him, I think, would make that Willow character his transformation throughout. Because he doesn't really turn, and he just goes from I'm a silly buffoon into a wizard.
Right. Well, he's kind of incompetent, and I feel like he gets better as the movie progresses because he gains more confidence and all of a sudden starts having more fun.
Right.
And that's absolutely what should be happening.
Sure.
Because, if he starts in that dark place, it's just, you do the whole redemption story arc, and it's oh, well, my life was shit. It's not so bad.
Right.
Lots of people have a dead family.
And I'm better now.
Forever.
He just finds his, his thing. And I know it's, a fun moment when he returns to the village, and everyone's for no reason, they're oh, Willow! Everyone loves him now. Yeah. They don't even know what he did.
They were not expecting him to come back at all.
Wait a second, you should be dead.
They gave away his house, his wife remarried.
And then there's that big asshole who's a dick to him the whole movie.
Right.
His only comeuppance is a bird shits on him.
Yep.
Wrong. That guy needs to get it.
I don't know.
Not too hard, it's a kid's movie, but
he's kind of just a jerk. He doesn't actively cause anyone harm, right?
He's literally at the top of the film. He's trying to take his family farm from him.
That is true. I forgot about that.
Yes.
He is
threatening him with like a loan he took from him, and he's going to take his farm. He literally says, I'm going to take your family farm and your children are going to starve.
Yeah,
that's his opening moment. But then he gets real goofy.
Right.
Then he's all like,
that's
beer.
a strong point.
Yeah, it's a real hard open.
That guy needs a bigger comeuppance. Like, that's the sort of setup where you're like, oh.
It could be like, even just like a general, like, a bird doesn't have to just shit on him. Maybe he just like.
I mean, there's a lot of people in this movie who aren't necessarily good people. I mean, Mad Mardigan isn't a great guy, but he slowly keeps coming around.
I think that's what he does quickly. He doesn't turn so fast, but at the same time, like.
They also keep running into him on accident. Like, he left.
He left.
It isn't a Han Solo moment of him going back. No. He is gone, and then you end up at the same place.
He ends up at the same place. That's also kind of why making Willow a little bit darker of a character. That can make them bond even more and make this, like, companion story.
They can have the moment where they're just drinking together.
Yeah, like a little bit more,
because
like.
They should have that.
That should be in the movie.
Yeah.
Or at least where they're, like, like that. Because, like, there's so many moments where they're, like. There could be more character exposition. The movie does just kind of go boom, 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 and it ends. The pixie dust thing. I'd rather that connection he finds with the female enforcer more. I'd rather that become like a more real moment.
I think I kind of cut the pixie, which I think are they pixies? The brownies.
All the little characters in general. Because it's the brownies, and then there's also there's fairies as well that are separate.
Yeah. The brownies and the fairies.
Because there's like a mystical.
I didn't recast any of them because their comedy is so
way over the top,
outdated.
When I did it, I threw Keegan-Michael Key and Nick Frost.
Yeah, I mean
over the top kid character goofiness. Like
you do what you did with like the stuffed animals in Toy Story 4.
Yes,
there are 5 of those movies,
and I think I've only seen 2.
So I own the one that I haven't seen, which is Toy Story That Time Forgot, which was straight to DVD.
Wow.
And I watched Toy Story 4 on a plane.
Okay.
It was fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Everyone says they're just like, it made me cry so much. I'm like, well, the first one wasn't that, like, sappy.
No, the third one does. The third one will make you cry.
Got it.
Absolutely, yes.
I don't know, I cry in movies. I'm pretty easy.
So, this is going to be my brag moment for a second.
Ooh.
So, I just got back from Sundance yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And we really only had time to see, like, one movie. But the movie we saw is this movie called 9 Days, which I was crying in that theater.
Really?
Yeah.
Hard.
It is a fantastic movie.
Very cool.
And, like, I'm going to be going to that well a lot for recastings just in the future.
Okay, cool.
It's
just because the acting in it's fantastic.
Oh my god, it's so good. Like the known actors are Winston Duke.
Okay.
Who's Umbutu in Black Panther.
Yeah. I love, and he's in that new Mark Wahlberg film.
Yeah.
He's the sidekick in that.
Oh, he's
deserves it.
So good.
He's fantastic in Us. I love him in that.
Right, and then like there was this talk back with them afterwards, and he was there and he was answering questions, and they're like, this dude is just straight up brilliant.
Well, what's so crazy is when I saw him in Us, he does such a good job of because like the character is just Jordan Peele, and like that's who he wrote. He wrote it for himself almost, and he literally almost disappears into it. Like I'm looking at him and he's a real big jack dude, but he looks like Jordan Peele so much. He like plays that like I'm just like a goofy guy, and it's like you're like holy shit. It's kind of crazy.
He disappears into this role too, to the point
and
where
same thing in Black Panther.
Well, I spent the entire movie being like, where?
Yeah.
And then as soon as like after was like, oh, that was that guy. I was like, oh my god.
Wow.
Anyway, that's a good movie. Go see it. But this movie, when was the first time you saw Willow?
When I was very young. It was a movie that I watched probably when I was like 9 or 10. My dad liked it a lot. He really loves like fantasy adventure films and
that's great.
Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. So like, I saw the animated Lord of the Rings, the animated Hobbit, like really young, and like he threw this in almost as like the like a prerequisite to that because he was like, you should watch this because it'll get you in like you'll like these things. And then I can show you the stuff that's a little harder to digest and get you to read the books on my and stuff. Side. Yeah, literally. He was like, let me ease him into this fantasy stuff so he likes the shit I like.
And then we can read all 15 Dune books.
Never got that far. He loved that shit. I didn't get that far into it. I do like fantasy stuff. But yeah, just I never Dune was too much. You know what it was? Space fantasy was what kind of made me go like, oh no, just make it a whole nother place. I like this space stuff.
I think I saw Willow for the first time either in college or shortly thereafter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not see it as a kid. You know what? This might have been one of those first movies that I like Netflixed, like on DVD.
Oh, cool.
I was like, oh, this is a George Lucas movie I've never heard of.
Right, and a Ron Howard directed film.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah, crazy too. Like, I wonder where they cross paths. You know, probably when he was doing American Graffiti. You think?
I don't know. It said the Wikipedia was saying that basically just George Lucas approached Ron Howard as he was finishing up directing Cocoon.
Wow.
And like I watched a trailer before you came over, and it was like, from the guy who brought you Star Wars and the director of Cocoon
comes this weird fantasy film.
I mean, all told,
starring one of his Ewoks.
Right.
Yeah.
But all told, it's surprisingly modern.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and it's not. I wouldn't call it diverse, but I would say like, you know, like they don't. It's not just white people, which is surprising in fantasy films.
I mean, it's a lot of
of white people, but like Tony Cox is one of the villagers who goes with Willow at the top. You know,
he's
in Bad Santa.
I know, I can't think of his name.
Oh, the character's name?
Yeah,
I think they might say it once in the film.
Right, and hold on.
Like they all get one name, and like there's a lot of one-off characters that are in the film for a short amount of time. Like Willow's best friend, I think his name is like Nakama or some shit like that.
Me Gasch.
There you go, right? You hear it one time and you're like, what?
Yeah, that's I mean, this is one of those movies, they make fun of it in some comic I read at one point, but it's like every single thing needs a name or a word that is a different thing. Like
100%.
Like these are the
and it's all in English. They don't try and say like, oh, they all have different
no
languages and shit like that.
It's this village of little people, also known as Nelwyn, and they have to take it back to the humans, which are the Daikini.
Well, I think that's what they were trying to do. Like, I think what George Lucas wanted to do was like, he was like, I like Tolkien, I want to do The Hobbit,
right?
But I can't. They won't give me the rights to it, so I'll write another Hobbit, and instead of a ring, it's a baby.
I mean,
that's what he did.
You're not wrong.
Exactly. Like, you know, like fucking Kilmer's Aragorn. Like, it's all very...
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. He does the sword things and tricks. He's basically a funny Aragorn.
That's what I like about that.
Aragorn has no sense of humor.
No sense of humor. There's no gags in that. That's why I think when you recast...
well, that's because Lord of the Rings is written by someone who has seen war.
Yes, that major difference. Yes, George Lucas for sure hasn't.
No, I feel like if George Lucas had been like drafted, he would not have gone.
He wouldn't have. He'd be living in Canada.
Yeah, the Canadian Lord of the Rings. Excuse me, would you mind not blowing up our planets? Sorry. We'll put our Death Star somewhere else. Would you like some Timbits? So then, with that in mind, what do we want to do for the remake, other than make it a little bit darker?
Darker.
I think start dark and then like skew into the light.
I think so. I think you can just build. For me, I would start off with a director who's going to give it like a look and a feel. If I was to choose anyone, it'd be Guillermo del Toro.
We'll get to like casting and actual names later.
Yeah,
I want to hear what you want to do with it.
Oh yes, that's what I want. I honestly like. You
want creature features like
absolutely
like
I want that very like outrageous designs, like creature monsters, like those dogs. You know, I want them in. I want that costume on a dog again. Yeah, but I want it to look fucking amazing and have that like vision that he has in like Pan's Labyrinth, and like there could be so many more creatures like that. That's why I wouldn't want to lose the brownies, because I would make them not just people.
Oh, okay. That's more interesting to me.
Yes.
If you make them not people, and
they're not people, they look different.
Or you make them like, especially if you're doing the brownies and the pixies, you do like they do in like H.G. Wells' Time Machine, where it's like way off in the future and humanity's like diverge.
Yeah.
It's like the weird floopy people and then like the weird monsters, both of which have names, but I don't remember.
Right. And the same, I'm not going to remember it. I don't remember most of the characters' names in this film.
Yeah, I only remember because they're written down.
Right. And I would do the thing.
Their names are ridiculous.
I would do the same thing. I would make, even the, what are they called? Willow's people?
Oh, the Nelwyn.
The Nelwyn. I'd give them a different look, too. I wouldn't make them look so standard, just little people.
I might, just because it's funneling on the prejudice, and like, because one of the things that was a little bit uncomfortable was like Matt Mardigan definitely like kept calling Willow a slur that I don't remember.
It's a peck.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm not talking about make them look like fucking, like dwarves from Lord of the Rings. I'm talking about give them a kind of a Hobbit feel. I would also do that with the humans in it. I just wouldn't want anyone to just look like humans.
Yeah.
This is a whole nother thing.
Okay.
You know, all the way.
Yeah, all right.
And I want like some of the like the villains in it, and I want like that army. I want to give them an orc vibe. Like, give them, like, that one bad general. He has the bone mask. Instead of it being a fucking mask, that's his fucking face.
He just goes full Skeletor.
He's a fucking weird-looking monster that's scary. Because that guy is horrifying.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw him when I was a kid, horrified, and then he's just a goofy, red, bearded guy.
Yep.
And you're like, this is not scary anymore.
No. That's what annoyed me. One of the things that I like one of the minor annoyances, not one of the big annoyances in Lord of the Rings, was this dude named Rattleshirt who literally walks around covered in bones.
Yeah.
And like that's his thing. Like he literally he wears a giant skull on his head, and they just don't do that in the show. I'm like, that would have been so cool.
Yeah.
But so one of the things that they don't do in Lord of the Rings, it's just orcs. It's the army. But and then, of course, the army gets bigger, and it's Nazgul and elephants and whatever.
Right.
But,
Uruk-hai or whatever, step-up orcs.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Super orcs.
Yeah.
But, give me an army that's... Some of them are on 2 legs, some of them are on 4 legs.
Yes.
She just got all of the darkness things and just, here's the army.
I'm totally cool with those, because, again, those dog creatures are in the top of the film, and you never see them again.
Right, which is a shame.
Which is a major shame.
Let's put a lion in a weird outfit.
I'm talking about I want those creatures to be sentient.
Oh, that's cool.
That's she sends those out and talks to them.
Good, I like it.
And maybe they're only through the sorceress. She controls them. A big army of them.
Well, let's imagine it's this whole army of things, and you think it's this monster, and then all of a sudden they push it aside, and then it just starts growling threats at them, and you were not expecting it to be able to do that.
Amazing.
And so all of a sudden it's because they set up this trap to get it, and then it's just no, you fools.
Right, it's giving it that.
You can't begin to understand.
Giving it all that stuff, it makes it just, it expands the world.
Yeah.
It makes the creatures scarier. Because when something can think, if it's not just a bloodthirsty thing, that's one scary thing.
Right.
But it being bloodthirsty and crazy, but also having a motivation behind it that's it can think and outthink you, makes it way more scary.
Being bloodthirsty by nature is scary, but then being bloodthirsty by choice
is scarier.
Damn. Yeah. All right, I'm on board. Cool. Yeah. Ooh. All right. So the basic course of the movie is, hey, it's a baby. I don't want it. You should have it. I love it. And then they go off an adventure. They find they make their party bigger. They recruit someone else.
Yeah.
And then they get a magic wand and a wizard lady.
Yes, it's it's almost like a lady of the forest who gives him this wand. And that's
I love that she's trapped as an animal. I think that's amazing.
That's not who gives him the wand.
No,
the secondary sorceress who they go find. I love that.
They find her. They get the wand from her. And
she's been turned.
Right, and then they're using the wand to save Finn Raziel. Mm-hmm. And then once that she is saved, they give her the wand.
Yes. Because she is the sorceress who can use the wand.
Right. And so I like the idea of her being trapped in this sort of way, and
but I kind of wish. So I kind of wish that so this is the way I would reset it.
Okay.
It's the three sorceresses, and they are connected in some way. And the woman in the woods is not just a spirit; she's trapped there, and the wand is trapped with her. But that wand doesn't work for her. It has to be with the other one. That's the only way you can use it. Right? And it was the way they balanced. They balanced each other in this weird way.
Because basically they treat, what's her face? The
spirity one.
Spirity one. They basically treat her as a god.
That's
it. Here's a gift.
Right.
But you want to bring her back down.
Bring her back down.
Put her on the same level.
Yes.
And so...
also, I want her... She's gone. That moment in the forest, the brownies bring him to her because she's dying.
Yeah.
Have her die.
Obviously.
Boom. Kill her. And she's gone.
Right.
One cool scene... She passes the wand on, but it could even be something cool where her dying makes the wand. So that that's what makes it powerful
I have a separate pitch.
Okay, sure.
So we've got these three women.
Yeah.
And all three of them represent a style of magic.
Yeah.
But because they've been around for so long, they have absorbed and pulled as much of that magic into themselves as possible.
Yeah.
And it is only by dying that magic gets released back into the world. So it's a world where magic hasn't been existing for a while.
Really cool.
But by killing these women or by them dying, all of a sudden it's re-released and magic is all of a sudden possible again.
Very cool.
But Queen Bavmorda wants to kill them, so not only does she have her third of the magic, she can have theirs, and then she can just have all of the magic and become a god.
Right. So what's the baby? What's Allura's position in that?
Allura's position of that is that she is a potential new witch.
I like that. She's like, so maybe at one point there were 4.
Yeah.
So she's almost like a reincarnation of a 4th, woman of the woods.
Like you do the whole north, south, east, west thing.
I like that.
And
give it a little Wizard of Oz flair.
Well, I mean, this could just be Wizard of Oz way in the future.
Yeah, cool.
Because Wizard's out of there,
right?
And I mean, I don't know if you ever read the Wicked books. Mm-mm. They're way darker than the musical,
right?
And
really?
Yeah,
cool.
And because Elphaba really gets water and dies in the books,
right?
Because in the musical she's like, it's water, that was dumb, but in the books they're like, no. She's gone.
Okay.
And there's a whole dragon thing, and the first thing Elphaba tastes is she's born with spiked teeth. The first thing she tastes is she bites off someone's finger and tastes their blood. It's dark.
Cool.
Yeah, real dark.
Dark is good.
But that's what I'm saying. So their death has ramifications. So literally, it is just a stick.
Yeah. But
when she dies, the magic leaves, and all of a sudden, it's not just a stick anymore.
I love that.
So, she could be the witch of the forest. Mm-hmm. You could literally do it as witch of the plants, witch of the animals, witch of the darkness, and the baby is the possible new witch of the light.
Love it. Really cool.
And that's how I think you can make it all work.
I love it. And it's a fun, it just sets it all up, and it creates that reason why the baby can talk to her and all that stuff. I like all that. It
also gives you a reason as to why Bavmorda is able to control the dogs or whatever, even if she makes them sentient, is because she took control from Fin Raziel.
Yep.
And just was is slowly corrupting her and trying to drain her of her animal magic.
Very cool. And she's possessing animals with her darkness.
Right.
And that's how she takes over them and controls them.
And so so they don't necessarily want to kill Queen Bavmorda because they have this existential dilemma of, well, if we release this, all this dark magic is back in the world, and they have to, because I really always like the idea of the morally gray of the dark magic isn't necessarily evil, it's just how it's used.
Exactly.
And just because these things are scary looking, that doesn't make them bad.
Right.
And that's why I want Bavmorda's daughter to be hideous.
Okay.
Sorsha.
Okay.
Make her a monster. In the movie she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But why?
Right. Because
it's a movie.
Right.
And I definitely cast someone gorgeous.
Yeah, I did too.
But let's throw some prosthetics on her.
Sure, you can give her a creature thing going on. You can always have the turn where it's that'll help when he falls in love with her and she looks that way.
Yeah.
Makes it more meaningful, I suppose.
It could. Have you read the Neil Gaiman Sandman series at all?
No. Not really. I know of it.
So there's this character who is a demon and is in love with the devil, and literally she's just half and half. She's basically Two-Face.
Okay.
Half of her is a beautiful woman, and the other half of her is a weird, horrific, gruesome monster.
Yeah.
And so it's literally just split down the middle. And I feel like that would be great.
And that'd be a cool way. I mean, because if you put Del Toro in touch with that, he'll make it real cool looking.
He's into it.
Yeah, I think he would. I think that's a cool way to do it. I like that a lot.
And that way you can still have the pretty person, but also you can choose which way they're facing, and it's just it
all just sets it all up. And you could put she obviously is horrified by her hideous side, so she's covering it up.
Yeah.
And that's another way you could do it too. You could do a gag on it where it's almost like the whole movie she's got this hidden. Mm-hmm. Right? But then it's not so bad.
Yeah.
When you show it, if you want to do that route, I think it's
as long as you don't go as far as Ready Player One, where she's supposed to have
beautiful.
where she's supposed to have this huge birthmark, and then it's just a tiny scar, and you're No, I don't even see it.
Exactly. No, it has to be major. I think it's
Yeah.
like something her mother did too.
Oh.
To like make her fucking...
To corrupt her with the darkness.
Yeah.
And because her mom's not a nice person.
No. And that's why she turns on her mother.
Yeah.
Right.
Good. I like it. Okay. Yeah. What do we want Willow's arc to be? Like, still just like the dark kind of like becoming like, life's not so bad even if my family's dead. Like one of those kind of guys?
I think we could have it be like, he basically, instead of killing the whole family, just kill a baby and make it more like it was his fault, kind of. So the wife left him because of that, and then he's alienated himself from everyone. And then this is like almost like his second chance.
Well, his big arc in Willow as it is now is that he's a coward, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like...
Not really, though.
Not really. Like,
he's not a coward. He stands up for himself even off Jump Street.
Right. But they say he's a coward. And they do this thing was like...
They say he's like a buffoon, a coward.
You knew what the right finger was, or you knew what the right answer was for the question. Why didn't you say, I didn't believe in myself, or something like that? And
I hate that. I think it's more... I'd like it more to be like... it's like a lack of trust in himself.
Right.
So, like, it's more like a deep... something awful happened.
Right.
And it's his fault.
So he's shaken to his core.
Right.
And so...
I have to alienate myself from everyone because I can't do anything right. I'm a fucking piece of shit. I'm a monster.
Good. I like that.
Yeah.
So then let's talk about Mad Mardigan, who it wasn't until I looked it up after watching it, wasn't a Mardigan who was mad. Mm-mm. His name is Mad Mardigan.
It's all one word.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it is mad.
It is. It's wacky. It's a really...
it's
not a very well... I don't think anyone in the film has great names.
No. For sure they do not.
Yeah.
My change to him is I'd add the space.
Sure.
I want him to be nuts.
Right. Because he's crazy.
Yeah.
I like that too.
I want him to be outcast from society, not because he's like an asshole. Right. I want to be an outcast of society because he does...
He's got like a Mad Hatter vibe.
Yeah.
You know.
He's a terrible example, but he's the Mel Gibson character in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
He has to live on the outskirts of society because he's nuts.
And he's a drunk and a womanizer, and he's got all the fucking like craziness about him.
Let's make him pansexual. Like
I love it. He'll fuck anyone.
He will fuck anyone.
I love that.
And just like he literally because there's that scene where he's sleeping with the inn owner's daughter. Mm-hmm. I want the inn owner to be upset because he thought that
he was gonna fuck him.
No, he did.
Right? Oh, I love it. He did fuck him.
I thought we had something special.
Amazing.
Were you just?
I'm gonna kill you now.
Were you just sleeping with me to get to my daughter?
Were you just sleeping with me for a free room at the inn?
Right. Exactly that.
Yeah.
That's who I want.
I love it.
Cool. And then we kind of have our idea for, and then Saoirse's arc's not necessarily bad. I like it.
It works. I just want her to have more, I want her to have more say in the end. Lightning doesn't kill the mom. She kills the mom.
Yeah.
Give her the fucking power.
Right.
She's taking over the darkness.
Random lightning that makes no sense.
It's such a dumb, the ending is very poor. I think you could still do the magic trick.
I do like
the magic trick is a great little like callback, and I just don't like that it tricks her so good.
The only thing I want about it, because I think it's great, and you're like, oh crap,
it worked. He's a sorcerer,
right? The one thing I would do is that it doesn't like shake her confidence so bad that she basically kills herself. I want it to be like, you just get that crack in the armor,
and that's when the daughter killed. Exactly,
yeah, exactly. That.
And again, I kind of like that. Like Mardigan doesn't get there until it's over.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's great. Like it's honestly like as Star Wars is bad with women, this movie's pretty good.
And here's the thing: you crank it up a little bit more, and it could be like you could give her a lot of control of what the narrative, because her turn is good. But there's she sees him stab the two-headed dick monster, and then suddenly she's good.
Right.
I would like it to be a little bit more. Right. I just wanted to build a little bit better.
And I'd like her to dip further into the darkness first.
I love it. I'd love her to be as evil. You see her as evil as you see that fucking general. Let's have her
kill the general as like a show of further darkness. Like I'm not letting anyone else.
You gotta have mad. That little fight has to happen because it's awesome.
Okay,
because you just need that, but because that's his matchup.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
She and her mom are that matchup. You can have her be ruthless, have her kill a baby at the top for her mother. That's what they're doing. They're murdering babies.
Right. Let's not have her go that far.
Because that's hard to redeem.
Right. But what I will suggest is, why don't, when the dogs come back having not found the baby,
she
kills the dogs. Because she's like, failure's not tolerated around here. That's what my mother taught me. Stab.
Well, because that's what happens. She returns and gets scolded by the mother. So what you do is I don't want it to be as dramatic as as like a Kylo Ren getting scolded and murdering. Right. But like, she gets scolded by the mother. She turns around and kills 4 or 5 of her guys.
She has no outlet for those emotions, so she has to
fucking murder.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That's all she's been taught.
That's all she knows. Exactly. Right. Cool.
Love that.
I think that covers all, and then Queen Bad is great. Just leave her as is.
For sure. She's perfect. I think that you just, I think besides her lightning suicide, every other thing she does I really like. I don't want the pig's transformation. Something else.
Yeah.
That moment is fine. And then also, they barely show the reversal of that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about the pigs. Here's my idea for the pigs. Yeah. If it's about a fight between these two different styles of magic, literally Bavmorda can be slowly taking over part of the army of Fin Raziel, and as they get taken over, they turn and start fighting. So Fin Raziel comes back, and she starts taking over the army, and then they turn around and fight.
That's a great big fight where they're almost...
It's going back and forth, not necessarily because people are killing each other, but because the size of the armies keep absorbing in parts of the other.
I love it.
And like...
Because that's another thing. When they show up with that army, there's no bad guy army.
Right.
You never see a bad guy army. So I would like that to be more of a big epic battle.
Yeah.
On the scale of and Helm's Deep sort of shit.
Right. But this could be different than anything we've ever seen before because it's not over when one of the armies is dead.
Because they keep absorbing pieces.
So it's over when one of the armies isn't. There is none of that other army
when the
left.
sorcerer is done protecting that group.
Yeah.
Right? And I kind of like this moment where it's like, also, you could have Willow kind of come into his own as a sorcerer a little bit because he's the one who could, instead of having that stupid hey, we're out here, come out and kill us, and then all the horses come up out of the ground.
Right.
Make it more of a moment where he does something to break that wall down for a moment with his magic.
Well, let's say the entire army is almost completely subsumed, and then Willow is able to save Mad Mardigan.
Awesome.
Because Mad Mardigan gets fully turned, he's attacking, and Willow is able to save one person that's Mad Mardigan.
That's great.
And so Mardigan's then able to
turns it.
Yeah, is able to all right, you're right, this is messed up, let's get up to the
castle. I'm so good, let's get inside this
Let's get
castle.
to the source of the castle.
Yeah, I love it.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into casting.
Let's do it.
I feel like we have to start with Willow.
I believe so.
All right. Do you want to go first or should I?
You go first.
So it's a village full of little people. So it was difficult finding someone, especially someone this young.
Yes.
But there is an actor named Andrew Bainbridge.
Okay.
He was in Happy-ish.
Okay.
And he's in Pixels.
Yeah.
He plays the young Peter Dinklage in Pixels.
Got it.
So he is playing in that movie just a complete asshole.
Okay.
There's the master of...
Yeah, I've seen it. I didn't remember that specific, the flashback stuff or the young stuff from him.
Well, because you look at him and people were like, oh yeah, it was just Peter Dinklage playing both parts, but it's not. It's this kid.
I think just because it's the movie and you got to get it remade, I don't think that you could get it without the star power. I would just put Dinklage in the role, even though he is a year older than Warwick Davis. I'd still cast him right now because I just think he's just too good.
And you want it to... And plus,
he's darker. He plays that better.
That's the thing. I think at this point it's an old enough character. Like the way we've casted, it's not a young guy.
He's not young.
Who's not...
Well, also,
Willow's not... It's a guy who's seen some
Willow
shit.
looks young, but Willow's got 2 kids that are, 10 apiece?
Yeah, so Willow's supposed to be 30, 35, 40.
Yeah, he's at least 30 years old.
But he's 18.
He's 18. The actor's 18.
Right.
But I think it's also because most of the actors who they cast as that race, in the film, were young and or they're little people. So it's like they were trying to give them a young aesthetic. And also, I think you pull that out.
I think that's fair. You want a grizzled old man who's like, I can't even be bothered anymore.
Hermit.
Got it.
He barely comes out of his he's just I want him separated from the world. And I'm talking bearded Dinklage all the way. None of that clean-shaven shit from the first season of Game of Thrones.
All right.
Full beard.
Okay. I mean, you want that full star power. I'm willing to give you Dinklage just based on the way we've done this.
Right. Because I think he can act the shit out of it.
It is. That's true. But I also am like, there's other little people out there who want to be actors.
Of course.
I don't know any of them.
I thought about the guy who's playing, again, he's playing the new Leprechaun. He's pretty good. The problem is he's too little.
Interesting.
He's like almost like a little less than a foot shorter than Warwick Davis.
Oh, wow.
So he's really great as the Leprechaun.
Right.
He's fantastic. And he puts on like an accent and kills it, which he doesn't have an accent. He's really good. It's like Porco's his last name. Porco. He's a really good actor. I like him a lot, especially in that role.
Lyndon Porco.
That's him. So I like that guy a lot. He's just too little.
Got it. Okay.
That was originally where I was going to go with it.
That would have been good casting too. I'm not opposed to this idea. I think he'd be good.
Right.
But
I think you got to go. They
right.
want a name. If not, they're not going to put the money into it.
I know. At the end of the day, though, we'll do Peter Dinklage. But at the end of the day, it's the ideal remake. We're going to get the money regardless.
Right. So then, in my opinion, I think that the star power, I think it draws people in.
Yeah.
That's the way I do it.
He's great. Mm-hmm. So then I did cast the evil landlord dude.
Okay.
In terms of little people, I cast two others. Because I didn't do that many, but I did the evil landlord dude and I did the wizard guy.
Okay.
For the evil landlord dude, I cast someone named Mark Povinelli.
Okay.
Who he is in Water for Elephants, Mirror Mirror. He's in Are You There, Chelsea? They're currently filming something called Nightmare Alley.
Okay.
Is this guy?
Okay. Yes. So you weren't worried about it being someone big.
Oh no, I don't care.
Taller. You know what I mean? Like you just changed it up. I was thinking.
I think it's funnier if it's actually shorter because
I love that because then he's like a landowner. It's like more about the money that he's holding down the Willow character. It's more about that than it's like this. Overbearing thing. I had the guy who was in Seinfeld. It's like Mark. Oh, he's what's his name? Newman's friend.
He's
Mickey Abbott.
He's Kramer's friend.
Kramer's friend, yes. Oh no, Daniel Charles Woodburn. I just think that he could play like he could add a little bit of levity to that role and still play him. He's got like kind of a gruffer voice, and I kind of like that for that character.
Sure. But
I like yours. You know, yours seemed like it had more thought put into it.
I mean, at the end of the day, the real correct answer is that the guy we were just talking about, Lyndon Porco.
Oh, that'd be great! I love that. He'd kill it.
Yeah, because
his accent in that he does for the Leprechaun is great. Also, I like that touch that he's in the movie. He's got that connection to Warwick Davis because for the Wizard, Warwick Davis.
Oh, that's
callback.
Oh my God, we should do that. Who did I have? Oh, I made the Wizard a woman. That's what it was.
Oh, cool. Well, I like that, too. I just wanted to find a place for Warwick Davis. I also think it's funny to put him in old man makeup because the character he played when he was 18 is being played by a man a year older than him, which I think is hilarious.
I don't disagree. That's really funny.
Yeah. Also, it gives him a good... The audience will go like, hey! Yeah. It's like a fun moment.
I mean, I don't know if you cast Willow's wife, but... I guess that could be Casey Childs.
Sure. I did not cast because I felt like that family is so on the outskirts of the whole film. I was thinking if I was going to... I didn't
say they were still married.
Oh, yeah. No, but I'm just saying. So for me, like the Lyndon Porco guy, I would have put him as the buddy and I would have made that a bigger character.
Ah, okay.
Like he's, instead of him leaving and going back to their version of the Shire, he just stays the whole film.
Oh, okay.
He's more part of the band.
I mean, you could also make him, because in a movie like this, someone's going to get killed.
That's a pretty good death.
Yeah.
It has a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
More meaning than, that secondary warrior guy.
Who we do not remember at all.
Honestly...
Blonde guy.
I cast him. When I explain who I cast for that, you'll laugh, because I did it in a very Hollywood way.
Got it. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's all the... That's all the little people I recast.
Yeah.
We've got our 3. So then our next person is Matt Mardigan.
Mm-hmm. I'll go first on this because you started. I wanted someone who had the humor, but also the fighting chops and the physique of it. I went Hemsworth.
Ah, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Popular choice.
Popular choice. I think he's very funny. I think he could live up to the humor that Kilmer brings to that character.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Went very similar style.
Cool.
Humor.
Yeah.
Physique.
Okay.
appeal, fighting ability. So I went with Michael B. Jordan.
Love it. I like that casting better.
Because, especially, I just want him to lean into the crazy a little bit more.
I love that.
Because we've seen him be warriors and everything, but I want there to be, like, something slightly off.
I love it. He, as Killmonger, is one of the best, action, villain who I also was rooting for. I loved it. Great. He's perfect.
Good.
He's perfect. By Hemsworth. So anyway, I cast Hemsworth, right?
So you can make the blonde one the other Hemsworth.
I was literally doing that. Yeah. I was like, give his brother the part and then he'll do it.
We did that when we did the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
We made Mario, Chris Hemsworth, and we made Liam Luigi.
Great.
And then we made...
I was even talking about the unpopular Hemsworth.
That's who we made Wario.
Perfect. See, I was going to throw him into that secondary brother part, the one that's from Westworld.
Yeah.
Just to do it.
Nah,
no need.
So I think the next one we've got is Sorsha.
I had Mackenzie Davis.
Tell me about Mackenzie Davis.
Mackenzie Davis is in the newest Terminator film. She's in Dark Fate. She's the Kyle Reese character from that. She's in a really great episode of Black Mirror.
She's in *Halt and Catch Fire*.
*Halt and Catch Fire*. She was one of the leads in that for a long time.
She's in *Blade Runner 2049*.
She certainly
which is what I would know her from. Mm-hmm. She's great in *Blade Runner 2049*.
She's fantastic. I think she's a really good actress. I just saw a film she was in called *The Turning*, which is based on *The Turning of the Screw*, which was not good. She's great in it. All the acting's really good. The movie itself is just a lot of
That's always too bad.
It's really a bummer because she just did a good job, but the plot and just what they did, the marketing. They, instead of marketing it as what it is like a thriller, they marketed it like a horror movie. So if you go into it and you're like, ugh, it's because it's just so boring. It was just not enough was happening.
Yeah. That drives me nuts when a movie is sold as something that it's not.
Yeah.
Because that's just going to make people angry and not encourage anyone else to see a movie. And no matter what, the best advertising for anything is word of mouth.
Yeah. So, a bummer, but,
what are you going to do? My casting is an actress named Eliza Coupe, who was in Scrubs, towards the end of it. She's in Happy Ending.
Oh, yes, I know.
She's in Future Man.
Yeah.
So I cast her for all those reasons. She also happens to be gorgeous, and because of Future Man and everything.
She's rough and tumble, badass, too.
I mean, they both play similar types. They're both attractive blondes who can fight.
True. The other one, I was also at one point thinking Zoe Kravitz. I like her a lot. But I definitely wouldn't want to go Zoe Kravitz. If we go Michael B. Jordan, I'd rather have it be an interracial couple, because I like that.
It always drives me nuts. It's I'm the black character.
The lead's got to have it. Yeah, exactly.
There's this other black character.
I'm in love with
they're
this
going to get together.
Right. Yeah.
Which really annoyed me in the latest Star Wars movie, but that's a whole separate conversation.
Jeepers. It was bad.
It was bad.
I did not like it.
I
didn't like Last Jedi either, though.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So you just didn't like both of them.
I particularly did not like any of the newest ones.
Happens.
Yeah.
I think I had that conversation with my last podcast guest, and I recorded it, and I'm like, do I put that out? No. I don't
need the heat from it. I'm too close to Disney, so leave it alone.
It's fine. It's a coin flip. They're both great. Tell you what, they're both great. Mm-hmm. We'll come back at the end, and whoever got the most goes to the other one.
Done.
Great. The only two other characters I have cast are Finn Raziel and Queen Bavmorda. Did you have more than that?
I do.
Okay, cool. Let's do those two, and then because that basically means you just get the rest.
Okay, great.
Which means in that case, I'm just going to take Eliza Coupe.
Done. Done.
So let's talk about Finn Raziel.
Which is the sorceress.
The old woman sorceress.
Yes. Okay.
So for this one, because she spends so much time doing voiceover, I cast a voiceover actress.
Okay.
Who I've known for a really long time. And she is an older woman now at this point.
Yeah.
But she's also played an older woman for a really long time.
Yeah.
One might say that she has played Mom.
Got it.
Because I went with Tress MacNeille.
I don't know who that is.
She's Mom in Futurama.
Oh, okay, cool. Very cool.
And she's great. She's just one of those, classic...
It's a very funny, and, she's got the right voice, and as the sorceress, I went a very different way. I brought the age down. I cast Regina King.
Okay.
Way different.
Yeah.
From Watchmen.
Right.
Because I wanted her to be, kind of a badass when she returned. I like the sorceress stuff. I also did the same with the evil sorceress as well.
Okay.
I brought them both down in age.
I kind of left them where they were because
Yeah.
how often do we actually get old people who are supposed to
For
be
sure.
old people?
Yeah.
And that's why I would kind of fight for that, just
Sure.
because it's like, it's one of the things that I thought was cool. Like, she doesn't magically turn into a young, beautiful woman. It's
Well, I didn't want her, it
that's
was just,
an old person.
Right, I just wanted her to have like more of a warrior sorceress sort of vibe. And that's what I kind of cast her.
I did that with the Queen.
Cool. Let's move on from that though. And then what do you have for the Queen?
Sigourney Weaver.
Very cool. I have Julianne Moore.
Also good.
Both of them awesome.
Both of them fantastic.
Yeah.
I specifically went with the warrior thing for Sigourney Weaver just because Sigourney Weaver does dark real well.
100%.
And like, she's seen some shit.
Yeah.
And like, either like, she's seen some shit and she like fought through it, or she's seen some shit and then stayed there.
She's fucking Ripley, man.
Yeah.
She's got that edge.
Yeah. And so that's why I was like, yeah, let's have her cut someone.
She could play it real big. And I think Julianne Moore, same thing.
Same thing.
She's just, Academy Award win. Like, she's just kill anything you put her in.
Absolutely. Like, she's like.
But I also wanted, in my mind, like, if you have Sigourney Weaver or Julianne Moore, I think it's tougher to have the voice actress. I think Regina King makes it more of a fair fight.
You're not wrong. That's a good argument.
It just feels like, it just makes it feel more that way. I say we give Sigourney Weaver and then go Regina King as well.
Okay. That's fair. I'll go with that. And then who was the next person you had?
The badass general.
Oh, right. General whose name escapes me.
No idea. I went Mike Coulter, who is Luke Cage.
Great. Mm-hmm. I love him.
Yeah.
I thought he was great in Luke Cage. I didn't care for Luke Cage, but I thought he was great in it.
And again, he doesn't do bad guy a lot. He's a bad guy in this new cop. Oh, God, it's about a body cam. It's got the lead actress from 28 Days Later.
I know what you're talking about.
But anyway, he plays a bad guy in that.
Yeah.
And I just saw him in the trailer doing it. And that in my head, I was like, oh, he can do that, like, hulking enforcer bad guy. And I thought that's what this character would be like. Also, in my world, he's got a mask on the whole time. Because that's the problem. He has a little bit too good of a good guy face.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy if we never see his face.
I think he can play. He's so big and brooding. He could be like. I just know he could take that physicality to that next point.
And I would love Mike Coulter to be in something good.
I'd love it. Yes.
Do you remember when this was last year or the year before where he was in that movie of like, my child fell through the ice.
Yes.
And I have to pray for him to get better. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, buddy.
One of those extremely Christian films that they kind of like were like, all right, well, we need their money. Right. God's going to make this movie.
Yeah.
With all his money.
Yep.
Again, this is because her part was so small. I cast the Spirit Woods woman, sorceress. I went Gabrielle Union for selfish reasons. Dwayne Wade. I want to meet him. I also really like her too. She's great.
She's great. Do you watch Hot Ones at all? So it's this YouTube show where they eat progressively. It's an
the wings
show. Yeah, mm-hmm. Where they eat progressively spice your wings. She's on it and she's like really good, and it's just a super fun interview. I'm like, you're great. Like,
I've always liked her in so many things. I felt like she could kill that, and then I also liked that her and Regina King. It's almost like they were like it pairs them a little more, even though it's just
I see what you're going at,
but I don't. But it makes me go like I don't know what I would want to do with that, but I also like casting her down younger as well. Too,
and I don't think it needs to be commented on or do anything with. I just like it.
Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah.
And then I just had Keegan-Michael Key and Nick Frost playing the two comic relief characters. But our film...
I also like the idea that they're both known as being members of comic pairs, and then they're not in that pair.
I didn't want to... Exactly. I wanted to break them from their pairs. Because I also felt like when you put them in makeup as these, like, different creatures, I think they could really step it up in a fun way. At first, I had Jordan Peele and Nick Frost... So almost the two characters who were... Because I feel like Keegan-Michael Key has gone on to do more acting.
Do a Garfunkel and Oates kind of situation.
Yeah, where it's like the two... Yeah, but at the same time, I felt like Jordan Peele doesn't do any acting anymore, really.
No.
So I went Keegan-Michael Key because at least he still works.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing things now and again, like he's doing like the for like stuff where it's like easy money.
And he's just he does it, and he's gone.
And then he can go back to producing.
And directing.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what he wants to do.
And great, good for him.
Exactly.
And I think he's like, but I think he's also like, let me get more things made. I have this power, let me use it, which 100%. I fully support.
Right.
Cool. Who else?
That's it.
Great. Then let's talk about writer and director. Let's talk about director first, because you already kind of said that you want
Guillermo del Toro.
That's probably going to win. So my director is a guy named Bill Condon.
Okay.
Bill Condon did Beauty and the Beast. He wrote The Greatest Showman. He wrote Queer City. He did Dreamgirls. And it's these big, showy things.
So he did the live-action Beauty and the Beast?
I believe so. I'm going to verify that. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was directed by him. He wrote.
To be
The Greatest
fair,
Showman.
that one, it's out of the ones they've done remakes for, it's not... The worst one's The Lion King. That's the worst live-action remake one.
I did not like Aladdin.
Aladdin I liked better than both Beauty and the Beast and Lion King. The best one I liked
better or worse than Dumbo?
Dumbo's on it's the lowest one.
Okay.
Lowest on the totem. It's like Lion King and Dumbo are like really fighting for last. My favorite of all of them was Jungle Book.
Yeah, I own Jungle Book because I thought it was like, it's its own movie.
It started, it also started all that shit, and then it was like, it just didn't pick up. It was the first one.
I thought Snow White was the first one.
Oh, you're right. But it was the most successful.
And then they did Cinderella.
After that, too?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So
I thought Jungle Book was like the one.
Cinderella, Jungle Book.
Yikes.
And then
Jungle Book's the only one.
Yeah, well, it's the only one that has its own story.
And it's the only one that's good.
I'm still holding out hope for the new Mulan that's coming out this summer.
That looks great. The trailer made it look amazing. Yeah. I also think they're gonna change so much in it that it's gonna be good.
I was expecting it to be a little bit more realistic, but now it's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but meets Mulan.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Just don't overdo it.
So let me make my final pitch for Bill Condon. He also directed Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn, both Part 1 and 2. Guillermo del Toro, you said.
100%.
Great. I agree with that, especially the way we've done it. So then let's talk about writer. Who did you have for the writer?
I did not have a writer.
Oh.
I assumed that Del Toro would have done both. But yes, who do you have?
So my writer is one of the writers on like the upcoming Buffy thing. Let me pull up
Oh, okay. I like that a lot.
So she also wrote on Alias. She wrote on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., on Lost. This writer is named Monica Owusu-Breen. Okay. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong.
Uh-huh. Has she done any fantasy stuff at all besides...
She's done sci-fi stuff.
I think that there's a place...
Like Buffy and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Lost.
Right. But like, not like... she's done genre stuff.
Yeah, she did that Revolution show that was out for a while.
Oh, no, I think that's a great place for it.
She's currently in development on something called Zenbato, but I don't know what that is.
No idea.
I don't know. She's done a bunch of like...
You know what?
TV stuff.
Female writer.
Charmed.
Oh, no.
She was a writer on the TV show, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show.
That's huge. I mean, especially if she wrote, there's a few episodes that really stand out of that series, but I think it's just, she's got genre. I think she can handle it.
I think she'll be fun.
Yeah.
Why not? She'll write it, and then Guillermo del Toro will make them live.
Yes. And here's the thing. Like, I feel like when you're writing something, a script, and you know that like an auteur like him is going to get his hands on it, you know how to write into that. And
you get to like be like, all right, let's see if you can make this.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite. Just like...
Right. Because I think there's a lot of really great creatures, like when he accidentally makes that monster out of the troll.
Right.
And I think that those trolls could play such a bigger role. And I also I kind of want the trolls to be like part of the army, or like, it's fun that they were like feral creatures.
Yeah.
You know? But like, I almost like, if the sorcerer is like there, she could control those creatures.
I just love it if it's just like she's just slowly corrupting more things, like taking more and more animals and creatures.
But I also,
especially because then it gets darker, because they can have this moment where they kill them, and then after they finally win, they all change back, and the people are like, "Oh no, we killed."
Yeah.
And that can get even more dark.
Right.
Woo.
I love it.
Cool. All right, so let me take you through the cast that we've
got. Go.
Even though they're doing the Willow sequel, Willow remade.
Yeah.
Willow Oofgood. That's his name. Oofgood. Oof.
Good.
Peter Dinklage. Burglecut, the evil landlord dude, is Lyndon Porco.
Uh-huh.
Wizard dude is Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
Mad Mardigan is Michael B. Jordan. Sorsha is Eliza Coupe. Finn Raziel is Regina King, and Queen Bavmorda Sigourney Weaver. Then we've got General Kale as Mike Coultier. The Spirit Woman is Gabrielle Union. And then the Brownies are Keegan-Michael Key and Nick Frost. All of this will be written by Monica Ousa-Breen and directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
That's our Willow movie.
I mean, that's pretty great.
You gonna go see it?
I would absolutely go see that movie. I
Love
feel
it.
like there's no way I would not go see that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we'd have to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm amped whenever Del Toro makes anything, and I love all the characters. You know, like I really love Peter Dinklage. I love Michael B. Jordan. Like the minute that trailer goes and like you get to see him, you see Dinklage as this new kind of dark Willow. The minute they pan up to that cage in that moment for Mardigan, and it's Michael B. Jordan in there, you're like, holy shit, this movie's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like give me a drink of water. Ah! You're like, whoa, fuck!
High fantasy movies are always such a coin flip, but when you call it right, oh my god, it's so
They
good.
can be great.
And even the ones that are bad are just fun.
I'm entertained
like, they're
by
just
them.
going nuts. And like, remember that Hansel and Gretel movie that came out a while ago with like Jeremy?
Jeremy Renner and it's not the woman who played who was in Peggy Carter.
No,
it's a different actress who's British as well.
Yeah. But it's a bad movie, but it's ridiculously
But there's
fun.
some that like you don't expect to be good, and they're pretty good. Like Stardust.
Yeah, Stardust is great.
It's a great movie. I went into it with a very low expectation because I'm like, what the fuck is this? But then also like, you know, then they take a good book series like the Aragorn or what, the ER, whatever it is, the dragon one, and they make it so bad they can't make more of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's interesting in that way.
I'm going to find the name of this woman.
Yes.
Her name is Gemma Arterton.
Okay, and that's
Also in Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Oof.
another classic.
She has. She's unfortunately been in some bad movies.
Yeah.
I feel bad. She's fun. I like her.
Yeah.
I'll have to recast her in something.
And it's tough, you know, because I think when you're in a string of bad movies they spent money on,
yeah,
it's kind of hard to bounce back, especially when you're like, you know, a secondary character in it.
Right.
And in both, she's like the love interest in Prince of Persia. She's, you know, the sidekick in Hansel and Gretel. It's like, oh boy.
She's Gretel.
I know.
Oh.
I mean, Renner's the lead, though.
Yeah, he's the biggest name.
He's the lead in that movie, too.
Is he? I'm sure you're right. I don't remember.
He is.
I just remember them both being like on the poster.
They both have it. Yeah, she's on the poster, but she's also, it's more like in the buddy cop movie, like, she's the second tier.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Like a Monster Hunters. It's like when they made Van Helsing and like, is it Kate Beckinsale's the sidekick in that?
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale. She likes killing things.
She does, and that's what they were like, get her in there.
It's perfect.
Right. And then that movie
that
woo!
movie was real bad.
Whoa.
All right, cool. So let's talk about plugs. Plug your like social media stuff and anything else you want to have people do and or watch.
You can check me out on Just Roll With It on Disney Channel. Season 2 of that starts in March, I think. It's on the Disney Channel. We're on Fridays.
Can people see the first season on Disney Plus?
They cannot. It will be on in March.
Oh, great.
But we're part of the Yadurf block on Fridays, which is just Friday backwards because that's Disney Channel. People love it.
I actually really like that.
Yeah, people love it. So we're on at like 8:30, I think, on Fridays. And then my social media is JC Comedian. That's Instagram, at JC Comedian. My Twitter is at JC Standup. I know that's confusing. I never look at my Twitter. JC Comedian, Instagram. That's the place to go. Other than that, you gotta just check that Instagram. That's where the shows will be. Because I just don't know when, this will come out. And I'm like, I'm not gonna plug a show that's tomorrow or something,
In a couple weeks.
Okay, cool. So I think I'm gonna be in DC in May, and I'm gonna be in Vegas in May. And just go to the Instagram. That's where tour dates will be.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it. If you're interested in following me, I'm at Sam Gasch, SamGasch on Twitter. Or you can follow the podcast. It is at Ideal Remake on both Twitter and Instagram. Again, mostly Instagram. Or join us on Facebook at Ideal Remake or Ideal Remake Podcast. Or if you've got a sec, hey, it'd be really cool? Why not leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or write us a review? Turns out that really helps. And you like helping people, right? Right?
I mean, you're listening to this, so you know we were fun.
Yeah.
You heard all this stuff before.
We are fun.
Yeah, so help fun people out.
So then, JC, I will end with this. What is your favorite quote from the movie Willow?
Pigs! You're all pigs! That's my favorite quote from Willow.
Good.